Maybe it falls to you now, Melania. You can end this reign of terror, and all you have to do is channel your inner Taylor Swift and walk out the door. You are not to ever again mention the bride catalog's return policy. Melania Trump has been in the news a lot lately. I was talking about her in the monologue, and she's on the cover of Us Weekly with this cover, my side of the story. Getting men to change their destructive ways by threatening to leave them, humiliate them, or cut them off in bed.
Bill Maher just crossed a line that's left Trump unusually quiet. The comedian's savage roast of Melania and Laura Loomer has ignited a firestorm. But where's the expected Twitter tirade from the former president? As threats of lawsuits fly and MAGA supporters rage online, Trump's tepid response is raising eyebrows. Is this a new strategy, or has Maher's comedic assault exposed a vulnerability in the Trump camp? The answer might surprise you. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Picture the scene. Bill Maher, the acerbic comedian, stands confidently on stage, his audience hanging on every word. The air crackles with anticipation as Maher launches into his latest routine, taking aim at two of MAGA world's most prominent figures, Melania Trump and Laura Loomer. Maher's jokes cut deep, particularly when he targets Melania. She's like a Slovenian Cinderella, he quips, except instead of a glass slipper, she's got a prenup.
And we got a hold of Melania's. It's not in this magazine, but it's coming out soon. Would you like to hear Melania's 25 things you didn't know about? It's not anti-feminist to say that in addition to doing everything men can do intellectually, women also have another power. The power of the ultimatum. You are not to ever again mention the bride catalog's return policy.
The audience erupts in a mix of laughter and shocked gasps. But Maher isn't done. He turns his attention to Laura Loomer, describing her as the human embodiment of a MAGA hat come to life. Within minutes, these jokes spread like wildfire across social media. MAGA supporters are up in arms, flooding Twitter and Facebook with outraged posts. The controversy grows as clips of Maher's routine go viral, each share fueling the fire of indignation among Trump's base. Laura Loomer, never one to shy away from confrontation, responds with fury. She threatens legal action against Maher, claiming his jokes amount to defamation. "I'll see you in court, Bill," she tweets, her words dripping with venom. But why have these particular jokes struck such a nerve? For Trump's supporters, attacks on Melania feel personal. They've long viewed her as a target of unfair criticism from the left. Maher's jokes about her motivations for marrying Trump touch on a sensitive spot, challenging the narrative of a loving first couple they've embraced. As for Loomer, she represents a certain breed of MAGA activists, passionate, unapologetic, and often controversial. Maher's mockery of her feels like an attack on the entire movement to many Trump supporters. But it's Maher's most controversial joke about Melania that really sets tongues wagging. "You know," he says, pausing for effect, "I hear Melania's new book is called 50 Shades of Orange."
And finally, new rule, Melania Trump must do what dozens of buildings around the world have done and take the Trump name off. But they left out my favorite feature in Us Weekly, which is the 25 things you don't know about me. Do you read about this? Maybe it falls to you now, Melania. You can end this reign of terror, and all you have to do is channel your inner Taylor Swift and walk out the door.
The audience roars with laughter, but online, MAGA world seethes. As the controversy reaches a fever pitch, there's an unexpected twist. Donald Trump, usually quick to defend his allies and attack his critics, remains uncharacteristically silent. No angry tweets, no public statements, nothing. It's a response, or lack thereof, that has everyone wondering, what's Trump's game? Trump's silence speaks volumes. But what's the real story behind his uncharacteristic restraint? The answer might surprise even his most ardent supporters. For a man who once fired off tweets like a machine gun, Trump's current silence is deafening. Remember when he called Rosie O'Donnell a fat pig or labeled Ted Cruz Lion Ted? Those were the days when Trump's Twitter fingers were always itching for a fight. He'd rush to defend his allies, no matter how controversial. When Steve Bannon was under fire, Trump praised him as tough and smart. Even when Jeff Sessions recused himself from the Russia investigation, Trump initially stood by him. So why the radio silence now? Political analysts are scratching their heads. Some speculate it's a calculated move to appeal to moderate voters. By not engaging in petty squabbles, Trump might be trying to shed his image as a loose cannon. Others wonder if he's simply biding his time, waiting for the perfect moment to strike back. But this unusual restraint isn't without consequences. Laura Loomer, a loyal MAGA foot soldier, is left twisting in the wind. Trump's silence could be interpreted as tacit approval of Maher's roast, or worse, abandonment of a supporter in need. It's a risky game that could alienate his base. The broader implications for Trump's political strategy are fascinating. Is this the beginning of a new, more restrained Trump, or just a temporary blip in his usual bombastic approach? Political consultant Mary Johnson thinks it might be the former.
And you two have a lot in common. Your husbands are ruining the world. Melania Trump has been in the news a lot lately. I was talking about her in the monologue, and she's on the cover of Us Weekly with this cover, my side of the story. Your unhappiness is obvious. You despise his creepy little monkey fingers touching your hand. Getting men to change their destructive ways by threatening to leave them, humiliate them, or cut them off in bed.
Trump's team might have realized that his old tactics aren't working anymore. They're trying to rebrand him as a statesman, someone who can rise above petty insults. But will this approach attract moderate voters? The jury's still out. While some moderates might appreciate a less combative Trump, others may see it as too little, too late. His past behavior is deeply ingrained in the public consciousness. Meanwhile, Trump's base is divided. Some supporters are praising his restraint as a sign of growth. Others are confused and disappointed, expecting their champion to come out swinging. On MAGA forums, debates rage about whether this is a brilliant strategy or a betrayal of core values. As we look ahead to the 2024 campaign, one thing is clear. Trump's response, or lack thereof, to Maher's roast could be a turning point. Will this new restrained approach help him win back the White House? Or will it cost him the fervent support that propelled him to victory in 2016. Bill Maher's roast of Melania and Laura Loomer has done more than just ruffle feathers in MAGA world. It's exposed a potential chink in Trump's political armor. The former president's uncharacteristic silence in the face of these biting jokes raises questions about his strategy moving forward. Is this a calculated move to appear more presidential, or a sign of weakness? Comedy has always been a powerful tool in shaping political narratives, but in today's hyper-connected world, a single joke can spark a firestorm that forces even the most outspoken figures to reassess their tactics. Trump's muted response to Maher's jabs might just be the canary in the coal mine, signaling a shift in the political landscape. As we look ahead to 2024, this incident serves as a reminder of how quickly the rules of engagement can change in American politics. Will Trump's new approach help him win back moderate voters, or will it alienate his base? Only time will tell, but one thing's certain. In the age of viral comedy and instant outrage, even the most seasoned politicians are learning to watch their step.